Last year, I spent $4.2 million on Facebook ads for 3 brands in my client portfolio. And I've been running ads since 2016, 2017 approximately. So I've run thousands and thousands of tests on Facebook ads. Some of them successful, some of them were a complete failure, but thousands. And the number one question that I get asked all of the time, no matter if it's in conferences, in a podcast, on YouTube comments, in my coaching, is, Manel, what is your testing strategy? How do you test ads? What is the setup? How do you come up with testing ideas? What should I test? I don't know what to test. How do I set it up? How do I analyze it? And then based on this, create iterations to keep on scaling and testing more. How do you do it? And so it's a really good question. And in this video, I'm going to answer it. So I'm going to cover 3 parts. Number 1 is going to be how to come up with smart testing ideas. Number 2, how to set up that testing idea into the ads manager, ABO, CVO, Advantage Plus, etc. The media buying part with screenshots, with examples and more. And then finally, and probably the most important one is, once I've done this test and I've spent my money, partially successful, partially wasting money, what do I do with this extremely important information that I just acquired from the market? How do I scale this? How do I make more variations? Where can I move this information? Because the information that maybe a creative is giving me, I can probably put that into a landing page and increase my conversion rate. We will see now, no spoiler, but the main goal of the video is to pretty much help everybody increase their ROAS at scale. And that's born from testing. And if that's a real priority for you, I highly recommend you watch the whole video, especially because at the end, I'm going to be answering the top 7 questions that I get about testing. Here's the question, and I'll give you my answer directly in the video. So stick till the end, enjoy, and let's go into the Google Docs. All right, so how to test Facebook ads in 2025. Again, this is what we're gonna cover. So what to test and how to come up with hypotheses that are high value and high impact. Testing in the Ads Manager, I'll show you the setup with screenshots and everything. How to analyze your tests, and then basically what do you do after you find one winning ad creative? The path to follow. So at the end, I'll answer the top 7 questions that I get asked on testing. So broad or interest targeting when it comes to testing. What is the daily budget depending on the AOV, or how much do I spend for how long to run a test? What do you think about testing with CVO? Do you test the ad copy? Do you test audiences? Do you scale your testing ad sets? I'm going to answer all of that. And yeah, just to give you a quick intro for the ones of you who don't know me, my name is Manuel Gomez. I've spent a little bit over 25 million in the platform for my clients on Facebook. This is myself in a Meta event, private event for high spenders in the Meta headquarters here in Europe. And yeah, last year spent 9.2 million for 3 brands only. Had a couple more things going on, but basically for these 3 brands that I'm scaling, 9.2 million at a ROAS of, I don't know, this is the last 2 years. 3 more or less, I guess. Last year it was 4 point something at a ROAS of 3.5, 3.4. That was great. And this is basically just to prove that I'm in the trenches. So basically in February 9th, 14K in ad spend for these 3 accounts, 3.7 ROAS. So that's basically what I'm doing more or less on a daily basis, spending 10 to 15K for 3 brands. International speaker, affiliate world, Dubai, a bunch of masterminds, pretty cool. And I'm actively coaching around 50 people every single month, plus the one-on-ones that I have going on for bigger brands. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Let's just go into the video. You have more information about all of this in the description. So let's go. Testing is the number 1 priority. And I will insist in this. Your number 1 priority is testing with intention to find winning stuff and then put it into a scaling infrastructure. But let's get through the basics first. So in a dream Facebook ads world, winning ads would last forever. The CPA would never go up, so your cost per acquisition. The ROAS would never go down. And Facebook would always find more buyers for you, for your product. That would be amazing. But in the real world, things just don't work like that, right? And if we really care about scaling, if we don't want to get stuck, if we don't want our competitors to just crush us in the auction, in the advertising world, testing is the most important thing, okay? And I'll leave you with this quote before we start. The goal is to spend a lot of money profitably. Think about how much you're personally spending right now. It might be 500 euros a day. It might be $100. It might be 5K, I don't know, think about your personal case. We want to spend a lot more than that. And to do so, we need scaling campaigns, because those are the campaigns which you can see later in this video. Just open the video in another tab, and I'm talking about how to scale to 5K a day in ad spend. But we need scaling campaigns. Those are the ones that can take a lot of budget and have consistency in ROAS, manual overbidding stuff. So this is cool, but these scaling campaigns are very risky. Like, these are campaigns where we're putting 2K budgets per day, 5K budgets per day, depends on the case. So they can only be built with winning products, winning ad creatives, and winning landing pages. So basically, you only want to build the scaling campaigns with assets that have been tested and validated. To have these assets, we need a testing campaign, because we don't know market feedback. We cannot assume something's going to work or not, so we take it to the market. That is it. And so, cool. It's very clear that at some point, our winning ads will die. The ROAS will go down. We have ad fatigue, and people get tired of seeing the same ad again and again and again. Plus, also Facebook will punish you for not refreshing the ads. Okay, so then I need a really good structure that is pumping new winning ads every single week. And that's what we're gonna be seeing on this video. And so, last quote here: profitable and consistent scaling comes from smart testing. And I'm gonna highlight here the word smart, okay? Because you can test a lot, but if you're testing the wrong thing, you're gonna waste a lot of money, because testing is expensive, and you probably know that. So that being said, let's go first things first into what to test. Then we're gonna see, that's an example, we're gonna see how to test in the Ads Manager. So I'll show you the setup, like this, do that, do this, and explain everything step by step. And then what to do after you find the creative that's winning. But to be honest with you, this is probably the most important part to be successful as fast as possible. So again, testing is expensive, and you don't want to have an ad account where 70% of the ad spend is on testing, 20% is on scaling, and 10% is on retargeting. Like, this is pretty bad. And I'll tell you why. This 70% of ad spend in testing will be like this, extremely inconsistent, up and down, something's working, then next day it's not working. I introduced a new test, 10 creatives, and only one was a winner, or maybe 0 winners. And it is really easy to lose money. And so over testing is a very typical problem. So 2 reasons. Why do we over test and overspend and lose money in testing? People test stupid variables, and many people are bad at marketing. They just don't know how to market stuff. They have not read the copywriting books, or I don't know, but many people are just bad at marketing. And so we are smart here in this channel. We're smart. We know what we're doing. So we only test the most relevant variables. And you might be wondering, like, what are the most relevant variables? I'll say it depends. But let me ask you a couple of questions. Should you spend $3,000 in producing and testing UGC videos if you don't know what's your winning sales angle to sell to cold traffic? Probably not. And there might be a cheaper way to figure that out. So just don't do it. Should you test landing pages? I'm talking about advertorials, listicles, specific landings. If you don't know what creative message and format is providing a higher CTR, probably not. So what we test in each specific moment for each specific brand matters. And this takes me to the hierarchy of testing, a full circle testing strategy for e-com brands. Hey, quick interruption here to suggest you to subscribe to the channel. I'm posting 2 videos per week about Facebook ads, scaling, testing, the new strategies that I'm learning in real time when I go to the Meta headquarters, when I talk to them over Zoom every single week. So it is extremely useful and valuable videos, at least in my opinion. And this is a small channel, so the algorithm might not suggest the videos and you might miss out on the content. So that's a recommendation. Let's keep on going with the video. Let's go. This is basically what to test first. And you might not start from 1, you might start from 3, and that's cool. But just to give you the full overview, the very first thing that I have to test and figure out is my front-end offer or product that I'm putting out in the market. Like basically what I'm selling and how am I putting it out. Am I putting it out at a price of $200 or am I putting it out at a price of $99? I don't know. Is it a bundle? What is the product and how do you package it? So figure out what people want to buy. And from this, when you test, you want to check your cost per add to cart and your conversion rate. That is it. In a typical dropshipping setup, this will be product testing. In a brand setup, as your products are rigid, and if you've got this product, you have to sell this product, it will be things like changing the front end offer, adding little stuff, like if this is for people who love running, you buy these and then you join a running club just for the sake of having bought the bottle. Stuff like this, basically front end offer. Number 2 is message testing. So you want to figure out what marketing message resonates with the audience when targeting broad cold audiences. This is important because, and I mentioned this in every single one of my videos, in Facebook ads, the most difficult thing is going to people that don't know you. They're seeing you probably for the first time and trying to convert those people. That's the most difficult thing. And that's usually once you pass 300, 500, 1,000, depending on the country and the product that you're selling, mass market, etc. Once you're spending a lot of money on Facebook ads on a daily basis, it becomes really difficult because you're creating your own market. Check CTR. After that, creative format testing. From creative format testing, you want to figure out what is the most effective format to deliver the winning message. From that, just check the CTR and you will see what format is good at taking people out of the platform and into your website. After that, introduce video, which is expensive and slow, but it's just good. So figure out the most effective video to deliver that winning message. Finally, go into landing pages. So if you are in a position that you're just getting started, focus on 1 and 2. And if you already did all of this and you know your winning sales angle and you know your winning images, etc., I will ask you, why are you not testing landing pages? And I've got a pretty cool example here in a second where just by going through the process, we were successful in November and December, and then we got stuck with a coaching client. So introduce landing page testing. And what you want to do is you want to find the highest converting landing page type and structure for cold traffic coming from your winning message and creative format in the ad. So it's all about stacking winning assets, right? So winning ad creative, winning message, winning ad format, winning landing page. And then, okay, if I can accumulate winning stuff, then I can increase my budget a lot. So yeah, this is basically how to analyze it later. And then on Shopify, what to check to validate a landing page. So I would recommend definitely that you use A/B testing tools like Trident, ConvertFlow, and AV Convert. This would be the order that I would follow personally. All right, so we're gonna check the ad creative framework, the flowchart that I use to explain this creative process, etc. And then we will get back into the Google Docs. All right, so this is the advanced creative framework. It starts with research, rapid testing framework. From there, we move into testing image formats with the winning headline. Then this goes into expanding. And so you make the analysis and then you expand this into more winning image formats, video ads, improve the landing page, etc. And then you reach hyperscaling. So this is the general overview of the system, the process that I follow. There are a couple of things here that are recurring, and there are a couple of things that you only have to do once. So let's go into it. And so the very first thing is research. And the very, very first thing is reading this book, Breakthrough Advertising. That will be my best advice out of this video, to be honest with you, because this book will teach you how to sell products to cold audiences at scale. So you want to do research. And again, few points on research: how to sell your product to your audience, simulate the customer journey, analyze reviews, competitors, ads library, and social media intelligence. Cannot define each one of the points, but basically what's going on in their organic feed, what trends are going on in this market, And what is the mass desire? What's the state of awareness, state of sophistication of that market and product and perception, customer reviews, analyzing ads libraries in Magic Brief, in all of these platforms or in the Facebook ads library. Like, do your research and come up with 10 headlines. Okay, so imagine in this case I was selling Casio watches. There are many ways to sell a Casio watch. I could make a video and a shooting with a model and spend 20K and go to LA and do it in a sunset. Sure, but I don't even know how to sell the product. I don't know what people react to. So I'm making a rapid testing framework where I only want to check the CTR, and this is it. So 50 years of legacy, a symbol of strength for generations. Cool. Close deals by day, steal hearts by night. Wear the Casio. Amazing. I don't know how you pronounce Casio. This is interesting. Anyways, for men who don't chase trends, they create them. So anyways, we're putting here multiple sales angles, headlines, ways of communicating. Be the man who commands respect without saying a word. Cool. And then there was this one was great. The only watch that proves simplicity is strength. Amazing. Anyways, you want to set up an ABO testing campaign, and each ad creative will be in a different ad set. Daily budget, $10, $30, $40. Total daily budget, $100 to $300. You want to wait for 3 days, and you'll realize that the ad, the creative, the headline with the highest CTR is this one. The only watch that proves simplicity is strength. Okay, I tried social proof. I tried this bold, be the guy by day and by night stuff. But this one is the winner. Okay, so now I want to test image formats with the winning headline. And this is what I do, right? So kind of user-generated content, split screen with more UGC with the headline in here and a picture of the product, features, article, famous person wearing my watch, football player, POV, so more organic. POV, you realize this is the only watch that proves simplicity is strength. Meme. So I'm testing, what do people react to? And then I've got all of these ad formats, which is very fast to create and very fast to test. And from this, boom, 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 I check, and in my analysis, I see that the highest CTR is the famous football player, but I can understand people are not clicking because of the watch, but because of the person. So it's confusing. Lowest CPM, which Facebook loves it, is this one. Lowest cost per add to cart, again, this one. Best ROAS and cost per purchase, this one. Okay, so this is my real winning ad. And so after testing the headline, I realized this is the winning headline. After testing images, I realized this is the best one because I'm showing how the product looks with a cool background in a boat in the sea. So it resonates with men. And I put here the model, the brand, the logo, and the product. So you can clearly see the product, you see what you're buying, and you see the product in use. Okay, great. And so now I need scaling. So winning image format expansion. So basically change this image. And this is infinite. Change the model, put a strong guy, put a guy in a suit, a guy with a cigar, whatever, like infinite. Video ads. Improve the funnel using things like this, using the headline. Now it's time to put this headline into a listicle. Expand the conclusions into other similar products. So if this is working like this really good, why not doing this exact same image with all of the colors and all of the models of this watch? Amazing. And why not doing it for women? Because now we're targeting men. And so it's unlimited. Or you can start from scratch and do this, but for women only. And now 9-10 headlines for women only. And you go through the same process, boom, 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 and you will realize there's a format and headline that works really good, and you expand this into the ad account, and that's it. So as conclusion, my creatives are relevant and resonate with my male audience. I get lots of positive comments and clicks, and positive feedback, Facebook loves that and rewards me with low CPMs, and I increase my conversion rate from 1% to 2%. Then I expand my product line and I put more products into this winning scaling infrastructure, and then I can hyperscale. So to reach the level of hyperscaling, you basically go through this, you gather a lot of data and knowledge and conclusions and successful tests, expand them, and you've got the winning scaling infrastructure. So yeah, let's get back into the Google Docs. So that is the process, and you must be able to answer this one question. What is the most important test you should be running right now? Based on your situation, based on the fact that now it's February, based on the seasonality, based on your previous tests, what is the next most important and impactful test? Is it the offer? Is it the creatives? Is it the funnel? What is it? And then give it an answer and start testing. And I'll show you an example here with a member of the coaching. He sent me that screenshot with a ROAS of 6.52. Hey Manel, insane ROAS today. Let's go to 1K day. Thanks for everything. This is a jewelry brand. He joined the coaching in November, and we did a really good Black Friday and Christmas together. It was amazing. Everybody was very happy. Fantastic. Then in January and February, things were a little bit tougher. And he was wondering, what should I test? What do I test next? So he tried things with offer. He tried new creative formats, and nothing was really clicking. And in a group coaching call, we came up with the idea that the next thing was funnel. I came up with the idea because he's selling some special type of rings, I'm gonna say, and I said, man, this cannot be sold as fashion. This is not a commodity. Like, you're not selling typical jewelry. So this needs an explanation, and there's a result, right? So this special outcome, how do we put it out? We cannot send people to the product page. So that was a listicle. So we tested a new landing page because that's what made sense in his specific moment. I don't know in your moment what makes sense. So he knew the right sales angle because we did a lot of creative testing. But we're struggling conversion rate and we're struggling with AOV. Okay. And after testing the listicles, again, ROAS went from 1.8 to 2.2 to 6.52. And it's absolutely wonderful. And this week I said, hey, the name, how's it going with the listicle? And he said, very good. I mean, we're not at 6, we're at 3, 4, 5 ROAS, depending on the day. But it's very, very good, and it's allowing for more daily ad spend. Phenomenal. Very, very happy for him. And that comes from smart testing. And one last thing, we've got 2 types of testing. A completely new hypothesis, and then making babies, that's what I call it, making babies out of winning tests. So this is iterations. Yeah. So you will be 50-50 in both of these. So you might be testing completely new things, as this guy with the listicle. He had never tested a listicle, a new landing page, and he opens a new world of scaling by using a listicle. Fantastic. But then you might have a winning landing page, and you could replicate that. I don't know, if you're selling to men, you can replicate the winning landing page and start selling to women. Or you might have a really good winning ad creative for your top selling category in the website. And I would say, go to the second best selling category and use the same ad creative. So basically you want to expand whatever is working at that point. Now let's go into how to test in the Ads Manager. Let's talk about setup at this point. So long story short, and I don't want to overcomplicate this because I really keep it simple. And I know people are like in a CBO with this structure, with this and that. Like, if you only test important variables, maximum isolation. That is it. And it's 2025 and I'm saying this. And yeah, it works for me. So ABO, 1 variable per ad set. Now, exceptions. If you want to test 30 things at the same time, this doesn't work because there's going to be way too much overlapping. Results will not be trustworthy because of these 30 new ad sets that they're sharing the audience and they're re-impacting each other. Whenever you see a purchase somewhere, is it real? Not really. So if you're only testing important variables and you're not over testing 30 new things at the same time, ABO, 1 ad per ad set. And so here's an example. Here we were testing, this was a clothing ABO, right? So we're just testing, as you can see here, last 30 days. And so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Let's do another one. So this was image, video sliding, DPA, video, manual carousel. You can see here in the top. So this is high impact because I'm figuring out in this case how to sell clothing. We were struggling to sell this category on the website, and I had to figure out, is it through video? Is it through image? Is it through a DPA, a dynamic carousel? I don't know. And so the ROAS was clearly higher with the dynamic carousel. And so for me to know that, this really changes the direction of the company. In the sense that if I say video is not working, in the next shooting, when they're hiring these expensive models, they're not gonna need video. And so maybe the shooting is gonna cost half because video is not performing. You know what I mean? So it really changes the company. It has an impact, and so it's worth it to separate it. That's context. Here's another example. And this is basically the mentality. Like, they know the top selling products. We want to sell clothing for the summer during March. And so let's figure out what is the top creative format to sell the top selling clothing at scale. And so we did figure that out. And then you can take the winning ad from here and move it into Advantage Plus, Cost Caps, CBO, Bid Caps, stuff like this, campaigns. Here's another case. Black Friday is coming. And we said, let's test out creative formats to see what people react to during these crazy times. And that's what we did. So these are ad sets: US, eyelash, video, sandwich, backup. And you see a huge difference. So in this case, it is important to isolate stuff because whatever works from here, I'm gonna scale it like crazy on Black Friday. I'm not testing stupid variables. I'm testing high impact, highly contrasted things. And so, yeah, you see it there, 3.28, 4.49, but then sandwich and backup, it's like ROAS 1 or 0.7. It's shit. So to me, it is extremely important to isolate important variables for two reasons. I work with brands, right? And so my clients will go all in on my findings from testing. So they're gonna change the shooting style, they will change the product page images, they will change which type of creators they work with. They will hire different types of models. I don't know. But things will change in the business based on my testing conclusions. And then on the other side, I will go all in the ad account with the winning variables from testing. Imagine big CBOs, big Advantage Plus, where I want to spend 3K a day and have a ROAS higher than 3 or 4. It really will condition my scaling. And so it's this little thing at the beginning that when things get huge will condition the ad account. Now, if you only check ROAS, there's some truth to the arguments that mention audience overlap, over tracking, under tracking, NA big, etc., efficiency, etc. So we need to know how to analyze our tests. So how to analyze your tests. The metrics that you follow, so that you will check to determine if your test was successful or not, depend on what you're actually testing. And so I'm going to use a few examples to make it easier. Example 1, message testing using images. So in this case, in both scenarios, we're going through the Botox angle, but we're switching message and creative through which we communicate that. So at first I could determine that the sandwich message is much better based on ROAS. Okay. To make sure it is really better, I need to check CTR and CPM. So it's a double checking because the ROAS is not everything. And the CTR is telling me, do people like my ad? And then the CPM is telling me, does Facebook like my ad? And then when I go down, I see, okay, in the US, sandwich is much cheaper in CPM. So like a $7 difference. But in CTR, it is absolutely crazy. From 1.6 to 3.1. Okay. And the CPC eventually, after these two metrics, it goes to 2.1 versus 0.8. Man, it is way better. So we're going all in into sandwich. So I'm gonna request a new shooting based on this creative format, and I'm gonna scale it in my scaling campaigns. So yeah, when testing images, if you just check CTR, CPM, and ROAS, that is enough. If you're testing video, hook rate, retention rate, stuff like this, it is a little bit more open and you can go super detailed. But at the end of the day, does Facebook like my ad? Do people like my ad? And is it selling? That's it. And last thing, if you sell high ticket, you want to check the cost per add to cart instead of the ROAS, and you're good to go. So if I'm selling a product that's, I don't know, $200, $300, don't wait for purchases to come in before pausing the test. So check the cost per add to cart, which is going to tell you the purchasing intent, and then check the CTR and CPM. Now, what do you do after you find one winning ad creative? Scaling. So at this point, I highly recommend you watch the 5K a day scaling video. I'll just put it below whatever here in the one of these cards. But basically, sky's the limit. So, and there are many ways to scale winning ad creative, which one is make more of it, more creatives out of it. Okay. Number two, and you saw that in the flow diagram. So number two, put the winning thing in more creative formats, which means, for example, if you discover a new sales angle through images, like you put an image and this image has a headline, and you discover that when you mention tested by dermatologists, and then you put a percentage, a number, you see that works like crazy. Then put that into video. In a video. And this video can be anything. It can be like an Instagram question box where you, in the question, you put something like, if you see that people react to the dermatologist thing, in the question you put, is it tested by dermatologists? And then the video is saying yes, and showing proof of it. But anyways, I still highly recommend you watch the 5K a day scaling video to just figure out how to put a winning ad creative into a scaling infrastructure where you combine vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, manual bidding, intraday scaling every single week, etc. Because also, whatever you find that works in the testing, you're gonna use that in your flash campaigns. So right now it's February. We just had Valentine's Day. What do you think I did during Valentine's? Because I didn't have a lot of time for testing. So I almost went straight into the creative formats and messages that work really well for me, and I know that from testing. I just put this straight in the campaign. So I'm not starting from scratch. So put into more creative formats, and then of course just vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, and intraday scaling, which we cover in the video how to do it. Now let's quickly answer the top 7 questions that I get on testing. So the first one, when testing, what is your targeting? Is it broad or is it interest? Broad. 99% of the cases go with broad. What is the daily budget? I would say you want to spend your AOB in the space of 3 days. Approximately, with a few exceptions, whatever, but more or less this is it. So if my AOB is 50, my testing budget in the ad set level, ABO, is gonna be like $20. Now, if the AOB is 100, I don't need to spend 100, I could spend 90, so I can put 30. So you see here, I'm doing 90 to test for this, but in this case, 3 days I'm doing 60, because this AOB is low. What if my AOB is lower than $50? Still stick to like 15, don't go to 10. And if my AOB is higher than 100, I would say maximum $40 to $50. If you're testing something that's completely new from scratch, I would do this, like spend 50 a day for 3 days, and the conclusions are enough. For how long to run a test? 3 days I would say is enough, not to get purchases, but with 3 days you will know about CTR, CPM, okay? With this, you can see already in what direction Facebook's going. Like, do they like it? Do they not like it? The CTR is decent. CPM is not bad. Okay, I'm gonna keep the test going. And so if the results are not good, not bad, keep on going for 5 days. And then if by day 5 you see a lot of purchases and things like that, move into scaling campaign. But if by day 2 the initial metrics are extremely bad, you want to turn it off. And I'll tell you why. Not many people talk about this, but you know, when you're running a test, a new ad set, and you are in the exploratory algorithm, okay, Facebook is giving you a sample audience of, it depends. It used to be 8,000 people. I think nowadays it's impressions. Nowadays I think it's less. So I would say once you've reached 1,000 or 2,000 impressions, the machine learning, the platform already knows if your ad is good or not. And so based on initial feedback that the platform gets from the users that saw your ad, based on initial feedback, Facebook will categorize your ad. Is it good or is it not good? If you're getting no clicks or you're getting no likes or the feedback is negative, shadow ban the ad. So basically give you a high CPM and not show the ad to a lot of people. But if the metrics are amazing, they will promote the ad to be shown to more people because these initial users are having a lot of fun. They love the ad. They're engaging with it. They are buying. So this is improving the platform, and therefore the algorithm is interested in pushing your ad. So they're going to classify the ad, which is the reason why I don't really trust this theory of turning a loser ad into a winning ad just by waiting. It's like initial really bad metrics, and then I'm going to turn a CPM of $50 into a CPM of 10. No. Or a CTR of 0.3 into a CTR of 2%. No. So that's my opinion. What do you think about testing with CBO? In general, I would not recommend it. Especially, I would not recommend it for new hypotheses. Yeah. If you're testing something extremely new, which is like, I've never done videos, now I'm going to introduce videos, and you introduce the videos in a CBO that's been running for 2 years, full of images, it sounds stupid to me. So I would not do it. You can use this CBO thing to make babies out of winning ads. So to give you an example, you find a new winning ad creative, which is a picture of a model with a headline that says made for men. And it's working amazing. Yeah, right? It's an image. So here, for example, making babies, if you keep the headline, you keep this format with the model, but you create 10 new images where you just change the model. So the guy in the image, you have 10 different guys, black, white, Chinese, blonde, whatever. And you put all the new images in a CBO. I mean, you are testing, but you're testing with a safety net because it was already a proven test that you made here. So when you're expanding a winning ad creative, you can do CBO if you want to. That's good, that's fine, that's even great. But new hypothesis, I would do ABO 1 ad per ad set. That's it, ABO 1 ad per ad set. That's it. Do you test the ad copy? No. Like, your testing budget and energy is limited. Why waste it? Do you test audiences? And the same thing. No. Testing budget's limited. Why waste it testing audiences when Facebook will automatically check the box that says we will expand your audience to potentially reach whatever they say in there, but people that are very likely to buy. So we will do whatever the fuck we want. Thanks for telling me that your audience is interested in football. And last but not least, do you scale your testing ad sets? And the answer is yes. I think there's a limit to it. Like, I'm not looking to this ABO 1 ad per ad set to take it to 1,000 a day. No. But if it's spending 30 a day and it's successful, why not put it at 45? Like, why not? So if it works, 20 to 40% every 24 to 48 hours, fantastic. More budget, more sales, let's go. Hope this video was useful. If you have more questions, just drop them in the comments. I will answer every single one of your comments, and I wish you a phenomenal ROAS at scale. Again, leave a comment for any feedback. I always answer, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go.